Am I audible, guys? Hello, Shreyash. Hello, North Junction. Hello, Abhay. Hi, Sumit. Hi, Prabhat. Hello, Aryan. Can you hear me properly?
Just a second, just a second. I think you can hear me, but I'm not 100% sure because uh, there's some issue.
With my mic recently, it's very low for some reason. The voice quality. Yeah. Alright, now it should be proper, guys. It should be perfect now. Hello, Shreyash. Hello, Abhishek. Hello, Vishal. Thank you, North Junction. Guys, so let's see Morphe's game against Adolf Anderson today. It's an old game. It was played in 1858. I'll just flip the board because Morphe was white. Hello, Priyank. Hello, Pratik. Okay, so this is Morphe versus Anderson Adolf. Wizardry, actually, I thought I could probably do something like some sort of solving, but I thought I didn't really get much time to prepare for it, so I thought I'll just show you Morphe's games. I'm a CSK fan, guys, so SRH is CSK is not there, so obviously I'm not watching IPL. E4 C5. And back then Sicilian was played completely different. I mean, it wasn't as theoretical as it is right now. Pawan will be watching Morphe's games today, and you can try to suggest your moves. We can go through them. Hello, Atul. Okay, knight c6, d4, takes, e6. And what do you think about e6? Is this normal? I mean, if you play Sicilian, this should look normal to you. But back then, it wasn't so common to play e6 because this used to weaken the square on d6. Hello, Puneet. Okay, knight b5 in order to get control of d6. Pratik, yes, e4 e5 was the most popular with f4, and e4 e5 f4 was very common in that era because a lot of traps, and you will find a lot of Morphe's games in e4 e5 f4. But here Sicilian was played, and this was played in 1858. Yes, Taimanov, right? Abhishek, well, I used to support Mumbai Indians too, but that's my second preference because Dhoni is in CSK. That's all. Knight b5, d6. So this was the only way to refute this. Knight d7 is obviously a huge blunder because it leads to a checkmate with knight d6. So d6 is played. And now what should be played, guys? How do you attack this pawn right here? What should be played? Shiva Krishna, yes I did. Yes I did. Hello Rishal. Welcome to the stream. Okay, what should be the move here, guys? White to play. Actually, I was planning to stream at 9:30 or 10, but then I had to have dinner, and before that, I had a class, so I had to delay the stream. Hi-Fi Glitch Gaming, even I hate Sicilian. That's the only reason I play d4. Otherwise, I would love to play e4. I just don't like Sicilian, and that's the reason I shifted the whole e4 to d4. I completely shifted my repertoire. c4 is interesting. Pratik, yes. Okay. e5. Prabhat, actually e5 is not that great because after e5, he can just take, right? There is not an issue here. Just takes and then you're winning a pawn. You basically play bishop f4, attacking on d6. Yes, Siddharth. Yes, bishop f4, Abhishek, you're right. Yes, Shivakrishna, you're right. Basically, opposition is corresponding squares, you're right. And it's just easy to remember opposition than corresponding squares. That's why usually, guys, in endgames, opposition is taught first because it's easy somehow to just show that the squares, the color of the squares is basically the same. So d6 and d4, or d6 and d2, that is distant opposition. So that's why opposition is taught first, and then you can gradually go to corresponding squares. In fact, if you saw Carlsen's game, I mean Firuja versus Carlsen, Firuja blundered. It was such a basic position, but he completely messed it up. So it is very important to, sometimes you think that you can get the opposition, but it's actually the corresponding squares that are more important than a position. Okay, just a second. c3, Puneet, c3 is not that effective because you don't want to play c3 because you want this knight to come here. After bishop f4, he can save the pawn by e5. Pratik? Atul, yes, Sicilian is interesting. I just don't like it. It just doesn't suit me with white. And with black, I tried playing the Sveshnikov. That is also called as Pelican. But I realized that this d5 square becomes really weak in Sveshnikov. So that's why I don't play that anymore. And now you come back bishop e3. Hello, Bhavesh. Shiva Krishna, yes, I saw that. It's really interesting. Maybe I can share that position later on. Maybe tomorrow I can. f5. Nerd junction, perfect. You're right. d5 square is extremely weak because no other pawn can protect it. You have committed a weakness here, and you will have to have some compensation for it. You will have to prove that. Yes. So basically you played e6 and e5, not directly e5. You're right. Knight c3. And what do you play for a move like f4, guys? So d5 is weak, as I mentioned earlier. Yes, Shiva Krishna, it's very interesting. It will take a lot of time to explain it. I will tomorrow. Okay, I did not get the joke, guys. The joke is on me. I will have to read the chat all over again. So guys, what should be the move? Like, people who like to sacrifice will spot this move very quickly. This is Morphy's game against Anderson Adolf. It was played in 1858. Bishop d2, but that's not really a sacrifice. Think, guys. No, Shreyash, I'm not angry. I'm just tired. I had a long day. No, Shreyash. Not at all. Not junction, you're right. You are right. Knight d5 is the move, guys. And Morphe played this very quickly, in fact. So, can you tell me what is his idea with knight d5? Pratik, actually, Tal also learned from Morphe, like his play. He saw Morphe's games, and that's how Tal learned. So, if you want to play like Tal, then you have to go his way. Like you have to go with Morphe, then you have to learn Tal's style of play. Like, any idea, guys? Any idea? Like, what happens to f into e3? What should be the move? Intuitionally, what do you think? Knight d5 is correct, Pratik and Shreyash. Yes, but Tal saw Morphe's games. He studied from Morphe's games, and that's how Tal learned to play tactical, sacrificial, whatever you call it. Shreyash, yes, exactly. It won't work. So, okay, Shreyash is asking what happens to f4, bishop c4, fe3, queen d5, queen e7. But knight c7 you can just take, Shreyash, because this is controlled with the queen still. Hello, Sahil. Okay, nc7 with queen d4 next. Okay. So you play queen f3, or do you play a move like... What do you play? What do you exactly play? Queen d4 is not possible. It's hanging. Sahil, no, I'm not serious, okay? Knight b c7 is correct, Atul. Siddharth, you too. Knight c7. Shivakrishna, yes. Shreyash, yes. Guys, I got your messages late. I mean, I could just see the last ones. I don't know why. Okay, got it. Why? Bishop c4. Okay. Bishop c4, okay. Hello, Harshal. Yes, probably Shivakrishna, I will. I don't think I can do it in between the stream. Bishop c4 is very interesting, guys. All of you who suggested bishop c4, it is very interesting. But in real, like Kasparov mentioned here, Kasparov also analyzed Morphe's games. So knight into a8 was slightly stronger than what was played in the game. But he played queen f3 check, which is not really a bad move. It looks normal, right, to play queen f3. But the problem was, after queen f3, there was a possibility of knight f6, bishop c4, same idea. Hello Prithvi, hello Krit. Krit, basically I'll just show you a few Morphe's games. Knight d4 was the problem here, and even though Anderson Adolf blundered, it was better for black after this point. Delete? Okay, I don't know. Pratik, I couldn't see your message. Siddharth, yes, I had a very long day today. Had some graphy work also. So I think it should be ready by 10th of November. Kind of excited for it. I'll do game analysis sort of. Rishul, yes, I agree. He should have taken the rook. In fact, that was the best move. And sometimes you think that you should go for the king and not take the pieces that you're getting in the way. And you think that let's just checkmate the king. Why to bother with the rooks and stuff? But that's not the case. Sometimes it's the best thing to do is to just take and play simple. Yes, Morphy also blundered with queen f3. Knight into 8 was much better, much stronger. Hello Krit. Knight f6, knight d4, and now after, what do you think Morphy played, guys? Okay, knight into f6 check. It looks normal, right? You just have a discovered check, so you just capture a piece. And now, can you spot the best move for black here? And black is actually better. So this whole combination was sort of a mistake. I mean the queen f3 one, not knight into 8. Knight into 8 would be completely winning. So now try to find the move for black. It's black to play Pratik, because you just took on f6. It's a check. So how do you refute that? This is what Morphy missed during the game, and that's why he suffered. He could have suffered actually, because black didn't play the correct move. Siddharth, knight c3 is not possible. There's a check, guys. There's a check. Hello Manish. I think I played a game with you, Manish. Okay, Sahil, yes, you're right. d5 is correct. So d5 with the idea of attacking the bishop as well as you are attacking the knight and you are attacking the queen as well. So many pieces are under attack. I mean this pawn, knight is attacking here, too many hanging pieces. So this was completely winning, and Anderson Adolf played d5, but he made a mistake on the next move. So Anderson basically calculated king g6 also. So let's go and check out what happens to king g6. There's a checkmate, guys, soon. Hello Rohan. Rohan, basically after bishop e6 you can just take here, and when you take I can just come back with the knight. So I can just move it here, and I think the king will be checkmated very soon, or at least I'll get the rook. Okay Manish, I'll play with you soon sometime. So here king g6, and now what? Yes, WIM Pratik. Prithvi, I think this was played in 1858, so I'm guessing there was time control of some adjournment. So basically what used to happen was they would keep on playing. Maybe there could be games for 8 hours or so. So 8 hours as in 4 hours each player, or after certain point, so they could keep playing, and after a certain point they could write the next move they are going to play on a sheet, and they would have to play it the next day. So the games could go on for days, and that's what the pattern was initially. But in 1950 or so, they started with the time control, like proper time control. So I think, Prithvi, this was played for like days, or maybe around 9-10 hours. So it's just 13th move. Guys, if you're new here, do subscribe to the channel and do like the video so more people join us. Queen h5. Yes, queen h5 takes. And now you think queen f7. Okay, all right. But after queen f7, don't you think the king will escape? I mean, h4 can be played. And now king g4 is obviously a mistake, because king g4, you can play f3, or you can even play bishop e2. And when he takes, you have queen f3 mate. Or if king h6, the king basically escapes, guys. So this is not really good, because we have sacrificed a lot of pieces. So can you find something else here? Pratik, yes, you are right, bishop e2, but king can go to h6 and not g4. But you're right, guys, there is something that is happening. Is Padmesh here? It's something to do with the knight, guys. Can you spot it? Yes, Pratik, knight e8. So guys, knight e8, and basically the king cannot go here, not even here, not even here. Only square is e7, and you play queen f7 mate. Knight d5 would lead to a move like king e6, and there is a discovery here, but the king will escape, guys. So knight e8. Yes, Prithvi, yes. Bhavish, g4 is interesting, but I think g4, there can be move like knight f3 check, king moves, and either you can take here with the queen, or you can even play knight g5, I think, because after knight e8, king e7, this is guarded. You take, and he takes. So the king goes back after a huge walk, like he takes a long walk, and then he goes to e8 again. So alright, g4 is not working, but knight e8 and queen f7 works. Queen h4, g5. Rohit, it's basically Morphy's game, and you will see this a lot, that the opponent king is in the center, because usually he would sacrifice a lot of pieces for initiative. And if you want to learn how to play with initiative, guys, Morphy is the best player to learn it from. Like even Tal learned from him. So even myself, like I used to watch a lot of Morphy's games before even checking Tal's games, and he would just give up pawns, and usually opponent will be around 2-3 pieces up, but the king won't be safe, or maybe there won't be a chance of castling for opponent's king, or the pieces would be just stuck inside. So even though like there will be pawn moves by black if Morphy is white, and he would give up knights and bishops, and then just open files for the rook and enter. So very interesting games by Morphy, and he used to play with the knights beautifully. Like he just knew how to function with the knights. So here queen h4, you just play g5, and I don't think this is good, because this is there, this is there, this is there, all the pieces hanging, guys. No, but it's not Tal, it's Morphy versus Adolf Anderson. Shiva Krishna, yes, I played. I think Shiva Krishna, I played h5 g5 against you. So it is very similar, yes. Okay, so king g6 is not what happened. Um, d5 was played, which is a great move by Adolf Anderson. And guys, Adolf Anderson wasn't just a normal player, he was very strong, one of the strongest. And now bishop into d5 check, h4 h6, h4, and then I can just play h6, and eventually you will have to play knight e8. So that's the reason why you play knight e8 anyways. That's okay, Atul, that happens. So what do you think about bishop into d5? Guys, the best move here was queen into d5, which Anderson did not play. And after knight of d5, tx, tx, you would basically have a position where there are two bishops versus two knights. You have a extra pawn. I mean, you have c2 pawn as an extra pawn. But with two bishops, it's always very difficult to play. And even though the knights have really strong outposts, um, it's not completely winning. Black has some advantage because the king is exposed. He can play bishop c5, bishop d4. Maybe the rooks come to d8 and double on the d file. So something like that. But he played king g6. So when he played d5, Morphy thought that okay, it's probably losing now, and I should just try for bishop into d5 because otherwise I don't have any option. And he had already lost hope when he played bishop into d5 because he thought queen into d5 is very simple, right? But his opponent just blundered with king g6, and it's strange that you don't expect your opponent to play a bad move. You expect the best from him, but sometimes he just makes a mistake. So just always play the good moves, guys. Like, always look for the best moves because your opponent is also human, and even though you have blundered, he also can blunder later. Yes, Rohit, even I would actually it's hard to say because the c2 pawn is really strong. Yes, but you're right. Vishal, it depends. Like, if I'm preparing for a tournament, then the amount of time I give to chess, it's different, and otherwise it's different. I study from books. I like to study from books, and I personally don't like openings much. So I have to constantly focus on openings because I don't like to do it. I often have very bad positions in the opening, so I try to learn a lot of openings. Queen h5 and knight e5. Okay, I couldn't understand, Pratik. Yes, yes. Hello, Amrish. How are you doing? So queen h5, king f6, and now can you spot the move, guys? This is one of the best moves ever played. It's very easy, in fact, but still. But knight e8 does control d6, Pratik. Okay, you mean after king g6, the same way? Knight e8 here? Knight e8 could be played, but knight e8, I think he'll just... Can you spot the move, guys? Actually, there is a huge difference because there's no pawn here. It's middle game, it's middle game. I like to attack, so I prefer the middle game always. Any day you ask me, I'll just go for the middle game. I'm doing well, Amjish. Yes, blunder, blunder again. Queen into e8, guys. Queen into e8, and now bishop b4. So Pratik has blundered again. Yes, Pratik, you're right. So there's a discovery on the queen, discovered attack, and there's a check. So guys, many players have this confusion with discovered attack and discovered check. So here, this is an example of discovered attack, because this is attacking, and even though it's a check, it's not really discovered check. Had there been a king here and you would have attacked the queen on e1, it would be discovered check. Okay, bishop b4, and you basically win the queen. That's why knight e8 is not working. So any other move, guys, not knight e8. That's why d5 was so crucial, and that's why the variation I mentioned was a blunder, like the one Morphy thought about during the game. Bouncer, okay. Okay, I'll tell you again if you want me to. So when you play this, he can take and then give a check, and then you win the queen. Guys, suggest a move. h4, okay. h4, I can play e into f2, I guess. E into f2, yeah, I can play this, or maybe I can even play knight e6. Or bishop b4 check. So I am you're giving me options after h4. I think h4 is also working, but it is slightly delaying the plan. Rohit, okay, you just capture on e3. It's simple. Hitesh and Bhavesh, okay, queen f7. But queen f7, king g5, and if you play h4, I can play king h6. The king escapes, guys. You don't have a dark squared bishop, so you cannot give a check, and the pawns here are guarding the crucial squares, even the queen, so you cannot give a check. That's okay, Pratik. You make mistakes and you learn. Actually, making mistakes is the first step of learning something, so it's all right. Yeah, h4, you can go king h6, Shreyash. Hitesh, queen f7 is alright, but here I think it may not work. You just play f into e3 instead. Rohit, Prithvi, you can play bishop f7, but to be honest, this is hanging on c7. You don't have any other checks. I mean, you can give a check, but this is also hanging. Hitesh, okay, you want me to play knight e6, but knight e6 I can take. It's just exchanging pieces, and you're already a piece down because you've sacrificed a piece. So what you do here basically, guys, is just take here. The main idea is to castle and to get the rook, or to at least get the rook via f1, and it's a checkmate almost. So nothing can be done here, guys. Maybe knight into c2, king e2, and here maybe something like queen c7 can be played, but again just rook f1. If queen into c7 here, then rook f1 again, knight f5, just prolonging the game, and you just win. Long castle, then win the game, guys. A very interesting game, because Anderson Adolf did not really have a serious chance. Bye Pratik, not an issue. Bye Pratik. Before fe3, then he would play e2. Vishal, he could play e2 then. because if you castle, you are giving him the option of moving the pawn here, so you won't have a break like this. Hello Vaibhav. Thank you Rohit. Okay, let's move to the next one, guys. Okay, just a second, guys. Just 1 second. Guys, let's see one more game and we'll stop the stream because I really had a long day. And maybe tomorrow I'll try to stream early around 9:30. वैभव आज लास्ट डे नहीं था, एक्चुअली कल था फॉर अन अकेडमी इफ यू आर थिंकिंग, but obviously I'll keep streaming here. Okay, let's move to this game, guys. This was one of my favorite games. e4 e5 f4 ef4 knight f3 g5 bishop c4, and now you play g4. So what do you think should be played, guys? Think like Morphy. Try to think like Morphy. So back then theory wasn't that prominent. Try to think, guys. What can be the move? Any idea, guys? How can you proceed here? So right now if you check, then castles, okay. Castles would lead to something like I can just take on f3, but castles is a good option, yes. Knight e5, Rishal, knight e5 is the best here, and right now if you play a game you would probably play knight e5. Nerd Junction and Shreyas, yes, knight e5 is correct if you play it right now. But Morphy used to think differently. He used to play for initiative. He would just sacrifice his pieces. He played d4, taking control of the central squares, because for him center was the most important thing. And guys, usually when you have the center, it's okay if you sacrifice. That's what they used to think. But now with engines and like many players have played it after that, and this has been refuted. So if you play it against a computer, he'll just defeat you in like 7-8 moves because you're just losing a piece. But back then it was difficult to play this. So for initiative, this d4 move is good. G into f3, however, is a mistake. Queen into f3, bishop at 6, and now we play Vaibhav's move, castle. Hello Anahita. Bishop into f7, okay. Bishop into f7 here, alright. Sorry guys. I don't really like bishop into f7 much, but it is exposing the king, so I get your idea. Knight e5. And you want to play something like this, right? Queen g4. Yes, this is really interesting. Maybe knight f6. Queen into f4, but then bishop d6 maybe. And even though he cannot castle, but now you're bringing his pieces and you've not developed your own pieces. So it's not really going to work. Guys, the idea behind sacrificing is basically you developing or having a lead in development. So that's why they used to play moves like d4. So you are keeping your opponent engaged by giving him some sacrifices, and sacrifices are such that they are just pawn moves. So black is just moving his pawns. For the past 5 moves, he has just moved his pawns. And now finally he is developing a piece, that too because this is hanging. So bishop at 6. And now you castle. Vaibhav, okay, I'll do that soon. c6, And now, can you suggest a move? Rishul, yes, but they used to play for square control. So if I think I was Morphe, I would think like that, that even though I've given up a piece, I have my rook in the game. Both of your rooks are out of the game. So this bishop, which is which values 3 points, rook, which values 5 points, so 8 points, and the queen, so 17 points, like 8 plus 9. 17 points are in the game, plus two this pawns, so 21 points against just 3 and 1 point, so 4 points. And if you do the math like that, then obviously you're better. And even though if you are having an actual war, it's more important how farther your pieces go and how you're attacking. It's okay if you have a lot of army, but if the army is not doing anything, then what's the point, right? So that's the reason Rishul, I think, he sacrificed. And now with engine, you check, you will understand that it is minus for white, but when you're playing, obviously you don't realize, right? You cannot just go and check the engine when you're playing. Vaibhav, okay. Bhavesh, I think what you said with bishop into f7 is correct, but right now bishop into f7 makes more sense because it is more forcing. However, if you play bishop into f4, the thing is that I won't do anything. I'll probably just maybe I'll just play d6, or I'll play queen f6, I guess. So takes, then I'll take here, and this would be bad. This would be bad. So here, instead of this, you just play bishop into f7. This is more forcing because you have to take some action right now. So he has sacrifices 2 pieces, guys, and for 2 pawns. Not 2, technically it's 3, I guess. Yeah, no, it's 2 pawns. Yeah, 2 pawns and 2 pieces, but still I have queen and rook in the game, so I still have more points in the game than his bishop and the pawn. The king is exposed, so this is compensation enough, guys. Now bishop into f4, which is more forcing because if you don't capture, I will take here and it will be a check. So queen f6. I think I can go for a move like e5, remove your queen from here, and then I can take. Prithvi, queen h5 is possible, but I think I'll just go king g7, and you don't want the king to be safe. You don't want to give him any extra move or a tempo to develop. This is more forcing, guys. Bishop into f4 is forced, takes. And now if he plays knight f6, you can play this. Just look at the pieces, guys. All of these pieces are not functioning, so it's still equal because he has the pieces, but they are not doing anything. So they are not contributing in any way. So it works for you. He played king g6. And now what, guys? Queen e5, Shreyas, queen h5, king g7, queen e5. I can play knight f6. And your bishop is still on c1, so you cannot do anything. So now what, guys? And this is definitely much better for Morphe now. So now it's up to Morphe how he plays. Here queen d6 is also winning. Queen f5 is also winning. Queen f7 is the best. Queen g3 is also winning. Queen g4 is also winning. So whichever check he gives, it's basically winning now. And it's hard to believe because it's just been 10 moves. And already, just look at the king, guys. So he has just sacrificed a lot of pieces, and that's his style, I guess. He would just sacrifice and get the king out. Yes, Rishul, perfect. Queen f7 is the move. Shreyash, do you mean queen e5 here? Queen e5 won't work because knight f6 you don't have a move like e5 to take advantage of the pin here. So you play queen f7, which is the best in this situation. King h6, and now what do you play? Guys, do like the stream. Okay, you just play rook f5, guys. Just rook f5. Sahil, yes, Morphe OP. The idea is to play this move, and now the only way to prevent that is by playing queen h4. Shreyash, queen e5, I can play knight f6 in the previous position, so that's why it's not going to work. Yes, Prithvi, rook f5. Guys, there is a small delay, I think, because I am receiving your chats slightly late. So guys, here, this is a threat, sort of, and he has prevented rook h5. Rook g3, how do you play rook g3, Bhavesh? Do you mean rook f3? Rook f3, maybe I can play queen e1 check. And then you might have to face some issues like queen e1 check, rook f1, queen e3 check. And you don't want that. So you just develop a knight, guys. Just get more pieces in the game. That's your advantage. The king is still stuck here. It cannot move. Just look at the pieces, guys. None of the pieces are moving. This is not moving. This can be moved, but it's not contributing to defense. Rook cannot move, bishop cannot move, rook cannot move. So basically, guys, black is completely lost, and the sacrifices definitely worked in white's favor. Knight e7, and now what? So here Morphe just decided to play rook f3, I mean knight f3, because attacking the queen, so destroying the defender of this h5 square. Also, this is guarded, so you can even get the knight at some point. Queen g4, rook g5, takes, queen e7, king g6, and guys, find the best move here, after which Morphe's opponent just resigned. Okay, I'll look at that, Bhavesh. Just give me 1 second. So just put the move here, and I'll show you the position. What do you think, guys? What should be the move? After this, black resigned. Just one move and it's over. Shreyash, Rishul, rook f1 is perfect. Rook f1 is the move. Amazing, guys. You can pat your shoulder because this was a silent killer. The idea is to play rook f6 or queen f7, or even queen f6, king h5, rook f5, and then there's a checkmate with queen g5. Sahil will stream tomorrow afternoon, and I'll stream a little early tomorrow, maybe 9, so I won't be tired. Today I'm just exhausted. So this is the last game, and I'll go to that position which Bhavesh asked me. Okay. Here, Bhavesh h4 was also nice. Since you're winning, but rook f1 was the killer move. When exactly? Here, rook f3. Rook f3, I think d5 can be played because the bishop controls h3 now. Yes, Shreyas, you are right. So black can just go back home, pack his bag, go back and resign. Resignation is an order, guys, after rook f1. So this is it for today, guys, and I'll probably stream a better topic tomorrow. I didn't have the time to prepare today, and as Shiva Krishna has mentioned, maybe I'll show you the example of corresponding squares tomorrow. That is one interesting example. So we'll do endgames tomorrow, maybe at least the corresponding squares. And other than that, let's see what we do tomorrow. I'll probably post it tomorrow only. About Discord, guys, I'm trying to still figure it out, so it will be there soon. Thank you for joining in, guys, and I'm sorry I'm just too exhausted today, so it's a short stream today. Yeah, Rishul, there was not even a single check during the whole game. Black couldn't even give one check during the whole game, so that just shows how much of initiative White had. Shreyas, do not delete the messages, it's alright. No problem, I read the message. White did not allow anything, not even a single piece, except for a pawn here on f3. That was the only capture that he could. He only attacked the knight during the whole game. I mean, initially, this move. Other than that, there was not even a single threat from Black's end. Queen versus knight. Ravi Teja, queen versus knight, as in, it will be very difficult to show that. Queen will win against one knight, but with two knights it is possible. I can show one example maybe, yeah. Atul, in fact, I like tactical more than I like positional play. But yes, okay. But Vidit is just too strong. Thank you, Bhavesh. Thank you guys for joining in. Good luck and good night, guys. Take care. Bye.